Hello, welcome, and good evening to Tech Talk with Rex. I am Rex Lang, the host of Tech Talk, and tonight, uh, starting about an hour late, but we are getting ready to go through some phenomenal information tonight. So you are not going to want to miss what we are going through tonight. So, in typical tech talk fashion, we want to go through and talk about what is coming up at Saria. So, whoops, let me go ahead and get back to the right screen here, and here we go. Now, one thing that newer members may not understand about Saria and about our website is that there's a lot of different things up here you can click in the menu area. Uh, different things. This is the most important thing you're going to want to see. This is a calendar. The calendar will let you know what's going on. Of course, your slider up here definitely puts information in front of you, but the calendar is one of the biggest things I use uh, as a member of Surya to keep track of what's going on, get an idea of what is happening, what's going on in Surya this month. Um, and as you take a look at your calendar and kind of go through it, you can see that there's a variety of subgroups. Of course, you've got property management and landlording that already happened on the 1st, wire on the 3rd, general meeting on the 8th, deal or no deal on the 9th, mortgage for real estate investors just happened last night, tech talk tonight, Dave's dinner and deals tomorrow night. Um, there's just a lot of opportunities for you to get out to meet with other members and to be able to take the time to grow your business if that's what you're wanting to do. If you want to grow, there are opportunities for you. There's definitely one coming up here on the 24th. Now, this is an interesting thing. Let's see. We'll click on this because it says it's a public event. So let's go see what's going on. Here we go. Yeah. Vina Jones Cox. If you're not familiar with Vina Jones Cox is a very successful real estate investor from Cincinnati. Cincinnati is a very interesting market to look in because it parallels Indianapolis uh, in a lot of ways. Cities are about the same size. Um, just a very good market to parallel. If you're looking to try and study other markets that would be similar to ours, Cincinnati's fantastic one. You will not hear anybody more uh, knowledgeable about that market than Vina. And Vina's a national speaker. She's been the head of National RIA. I couldn't go through the laundry list of accomplishments that she has. But what she does every year, she's going to come over and talk about ORIA. ORIA is a convention that you want to attend because ORIA is a gathering basically of real estate investors from around the country, but a lot of them from the Midwest here. So if you're looking to network and start to expand the things that you're trying to do, or even start the things that you're trying to do, ORIA is a fantastic place to do it. Um, I can remember. Wow, I'm trying to put on my thinking cap, which sometimes doesn't think as well. But I know it might have been 2 years ago to ORIA, maybe three. Um, I can remember one of the better real estate deals that I participated in happened from a connection that I made at ORIA, just another person that came that was from this market. We were able to put some things together and do a deal, and it was really phenomenal. I mean, it will get you out of your comfort zone, and it is at probably one of the best places if you want to take your family too. Now, this is the key here. Great Wolf Lodge. First of all, it's a convention you don't have to go far for. Just over right next door to Kings Island. Um, when you go, A lot of times when you go to convention, your family's not real happy because you're going and, they think, oh, you're having all this fun and everything. They don't realize you're working your tail off. But if you go there to Great Wolf Lodge, they have lodge type rooms, and they have one of the best water parks, indoor water parks that you'll find anywhere in the Midwest. So while you're soaking up all of your real estate information, networking, learning, doing the things that you should be doing there, your family can be there hanging out, playing around in the water park, doing the things. So then once you get done in the evening time, if you want to go back and spend time with them, hey, it's all good. But you definitely want to come out because Vina does every year basically a state of the market type of presentation. So I'm sure she'll do that. She's very open to answering questions, and it's a great time that if you are looking to be able to ask an expert, so to speak, a national expert, somebody that knows, uh, you're gonna be able to get it right there. And she'll be speaking at the Caribbean Cove Hotel and Conference Center. It's right up by where the Kiwanis building was, where the meetings used to be held, right off of 465 and Michigan Road, right there. They themselves have an indoor water park. Isn't that interesting? Maybe just an interesting coincidence. But uh, very nice venue. Go there, hear what Vina has to say. And if you can, attend OREA because OREA is definitely, if you're only going to go to one conference, this is the conference to go to. It's very good, uh, and you will not be disappointed that you did so. Also, next month, Lou Brown is coming. Lou Brown is definitely an investor that you would want to take the time to go and hear. And like I said, I know he's one of those investors that continues to develop strategies and continues to beat the market every time. So, Lou Brown, fantastic speaker, great opportunity coming up next month. So don't forget about that because things are starting to get busy. It's getting to be fall time, and you just want to make sure that you are definitely putting yourself in the best position to grow and do your real estate transactions in the best way possible. So make sure you do that. And like I said, make sure you get out to some subgroups. This one's kind of nice because it's online. You can attend it live. You can attend it, uh, anytime. The recordings are up. They're accessible for you, and you can play it. So just makes that easy. But it's very hard to network at this subgroup. So get out to some other ones. Shake some hands. Nobody bites, as far as I know, and you'll really enjoy it. So that's what we have going on for this month at Saria. So, tonight, I want to talk about a couple of different things. And let me do something here. Let me show you something here. Now, this page that I'm opening up is in a browser. It's called Chrome. Um, I've got quite a few modifications on it just for me, just because I like to play around with stuff like this. But one thing that you want to always keep in mind is it's always a good idea to have more than one browser. Um, you can see down here in the bottom of the toolbar right down here, follow the arrow. It's kind of hard to see white on white. There's an Internet Explorer window. I also have Firefox installed. And you always want to keep multiple browsers just because there may come a time when one of them doesn't want to work for you. One of them doesn't want to interact with the program for you. One of them wants to just be a pain in your behind. So always remember to have multiple browsers set up because it definitely comes in handy when you need to accomplish something that a program doesn't want to let you accomplish. So that is tip number one for tonight, multiple browsers. And if you do have any questions about multiple browsers, we can go through them. And it's not a difficult thing to set up. It's just a matter of downloading from the App Store. But the thing I want to talk about tonight, and I basically want to revisit one of my favorite apps that I have found this year. And I want to kind of show you a case study on it that's a little longer than uh, what you might think. Um, the application is called If This, Then That. Now, you may ask yourself, what is If This, Then That? What is this app that we're talking about? Well, If This, Then That basically is an app that says if this action occurs, then this action will happen because of it. Just like it talks about here on the first part. If you posted a picture on Instagram, it would automatically save the photo in Dropbox. Now, there are many, many different ways to use this app. And one of the one of basically what you want to find with this app are recipes, or you can create your own recipes. That's the thing that I like about it so much, because there are so many different actions and so many different things that once you start to use this, it almost becomes addictive, because you start to recognize there are so many things that you can automate, so many things that you can do that will help your productivity, will help you just be aware of things that you want to be aware of. Um, and the recipes are great. Again, like it says, there's two different types of recipes: do recipes and if recipes. Do recipes run with a tab and create your own personalized button, camera, notepad. And we went through the Do app the last time, and Do's pretty interesting. But what I really want to focus in on tonight are the if recipes, because they run automatically in the background. And again, this is an app that you can download to your home computer or to your phone, and it will run in conjunction with whatever it is that you're using in that way. So, just like it said, if you posted the picture on Instagram, it's going to automatically save it in Dropbox. Well, what I want to do tonight is I want to go through and show you, first of all, what if this, then that looks like from the back, and start to brainstorm out and think about some of the possibilities of things that you could do to make your life simpler, make your business simpler, and maybe even uh, save you some money. I don't know. It could do a lot of things. Could do a lot of things. So, um, we're going to go in here. This is what happens once you sign in, because I've created an account and we've signed in here right now. You'll notice up here at the top you've got your recipes. These are the ones that you have. You can browse recipes. You can search through channels, which is what this is showing us right down here. And then, of course, you've got your account sign up information at the top. Now, this start to, let's see, let's start here. It's got some recommended recipes. Okay. Basically, it says like if NPR puts out news headlines, then you want to put them into the email so that you're going to read them. Or what if, let's just say, and let's try to do this because I think this will be more productive and more helpful than me just trying to show you. Let's see. Let's go in and create a recipe. Okay. Now, I do have a couple of recipes in here that I've created already, and we'll go through those here in a minute. But let's try to do this. So the if recipe, we want to create one. So let's create one. And this is all that you have to do. You hit the create. Okay. So this, what is the trigger channel that we want? What is the thing that happens that we want to be alerted of? The thing that we want to be told is happening. Okay. Now, this can get pretty interesting too, because if you use it on your phone, it can tell you about, whoops, that wasn't good. There we go. It can tell you things like your battery life. It can tell you locations of things. Um, uh, if you receive text messages, things like this. But let's just say, let's see. And again, you're going to find out there are a ton of apps that this works with, a ton of things that this kind of goes along with uh, to help you to um, see. Let's see. What do we want to do here? So I'm trying to look through and just find us a pretty simple one that we can. Okay, let's do this. Here we go. Okay, I'll try this one first, just because I looked. We want to use Reddit as our trigger. Okay, now, oh, I don't have a Reddit channel. Doggone it. Oh no, stay on the page. Let's go back. I shouldn't have done that. I should have chosen something that I knew. See what happens sometimes when you try to freelance. It'll get you in some trouble. Okay, let's use it. Okay. Here we go. ESPN. It's a guy show, so we can use sports. But let's say that there's a new final score. Okay. So maybe you don't want to know about every update, but let's say there's a new final score. Okay. Now, what team do we want? Well, okay, let's just say, okay, we're going to go with the NFL. Let's say that we are going to go with my beloved Detroit Lions. Okay, so now every time there is a new final score for my Detroit Lions, then what do I want it to do? So I can tell it that I would like to be emailed. Send me an email and tell me. Wait a minute. Did I push the right button? Here we go. And again, if you mess up, just push the back button. Very simple. Oh, wait a minute. Let's do this. So, Gmail. Ha, I should have known that, right? Okay, so now we wanted to send an email to my Gmail account. Okay, so I have to tell it which email account I want it to go to. Okay, let's say I take it to the Gmail account that I'm using for this. And the subject is going to be because you can even Lion scores. Boom. Here we go. So now that I have that, now that I know what it's going to tell me, leave the rest of it the same. I don't need an attachment to it or anything. Now watch. Oh, what I do? I push the wrong button. Oops. How'd I do that? Okay. One more try. And like I said, that's another nice thing about this app is that it's very forgiving. I mean, you know, just put that there, come down here, create the action, and it's done. So now, every time there's a new final score for the Detroit Lions, which I know thrills all of you, but for me, hey, I like that kind of stuff. It's going to send it in an email form to the email account for this uh, webinar. Now, you might be thinking, oh, okay, whatever, you know, you can find that by searching or whatever. What can you do that's maybe better than that? Well, let's go back and take a look because I just want to start to give you an idea of things that you can do. So let's go up here and let's browse for a minute because now that you see um, how to create a recipe, let's check out some different recipes and what is possible to do. Okay. Um, Again, things like if it's going to rain tomorrow, you can get a notification. Now, I'll warn you on this one. I set this one up. You got to be careful because if there's any chance of rain, it's going to tell you it's going to rain every day. So it's not as good as it looks. But again, you have to start to weed through these things and find out, what's going to work best for you. Um, let's see. Let's go up here and let's go to the slider because they've got some pretty interesting things up here sometimes. And again, iOS, Android, either platform doesn't matter. Recipes for your car. Now, this is interesting, okay? Um, you can log your driving trips in Evernote. Now, I want you to think about this. If you're using, I believe the A is, well, that's the automatic channel. I'm not absolutely familiar with it, but I think there was another one. Um, let's see. Yeah, there's Dash. There's there's another. I think Dash is the one that is a free um, app that gives you details about your driving. Um, let's see what sign up for Dash looks like. See if we can find something here. Or actually, we should. Um, let's go over here. A side note here, because I think this is important. Um, Anytime that you are looking for an app and want to find out, as we've talked about on other Tech Talks before, Google Play Store is your friend because that's where you will find the apps, that's where you will find the reviews, that's where you will find everything you need to know about these apps, how good they are, what they do. Okay, here we go. Dash, Drive Smart. Let's see what it's got. Okay. Interesting thing right here, and it may be kind of hard for you to see, but let's see if I can get this a little bigger. There we go. Oops. Yeah. Let me go. There we go. All right. Let's move up here to the top. All right. Dash, Drive Smart. Dash turns any car into a smart car. Connect your car to your smartphone and unlock enhanced performance. A low-cost device called an onboard diagnostic, or OBD. So this is like one of those things that you plug in, and I've been reading some about this. Basically, this helps you diagnose engine codes, things like that, problems, um, and whatnot. Uh, that keeps you more in tune with what's going on with your car. So that's a new um, that's a new app that I hadn't seen yet. Try this, because I think we've looked through TripLog before. Yeah, TripLog's your GPS mileage tracker. Now, this is an interesting thing too. If you get into an app like TripLogger, and the reason that I look at this is, as real estate investors, your mileage write-off is one of the bigger write-offs that you'll have for the year, as far as things that you do, mileage, maintenance, things like that of your vehicle. So if you can automate this all in one place, why not? Um, it tells you if the app is compatible with your devices. Once you get this kind of set up on your computer and you see, it can tell you, you know, um, is it compatible? Now, the thing we need to look at is, now that we go back here, let's try this. Is there, or do they support TripLog? So we would have to look up, try to create a recipe. And I don't know if I saw, let's just try TripLog. Nope. Excuse me. So you can see sometimes you win, sometimes you lose with this app, as far as trying to set things up to work in that way where it will automatically trigger and save for you. But I think you're starting to get the idea that this is a very simple process to create one action that creates another action. One thing that happens, it tells you, it triggers a response that you decide and you put together. Now, I told you we were going to talk about a case study. Let's talk about a case study here. This is something that I set up in If This Then That. And what it was, and I'll show you, we can go right back here. Let's go back to my recipes. Okay. Under my recipes. Yeah, here we go. Now, what I did was I went on to Craigslist, and I'll show you how to set up this recipe here in a minute. And you can do it in a lot of different places. You don't have to just use Craigslist. Use your imagination. I saw that eBay was another source listed on the log. So think about this. Do people sell houses on eBay? I think they still do. What if you wanted to know when new properties were listed on eBay? Maybe we can set up that trigger too and let that run and see what happens. But one thing that we did here is, and you have to start to think about keywords. I was at a conference this weekend that had nothing to do with real estate, but it was interesting because between that conference and then attending the Indiana Small Business Expo on Tuesday night, keywords continue to be a very hot topic, because with so many things going to the internet and so much search being dictated by keywords, keywords are vital in anything that you do. If you don't remember anything else, just remember this: keywords are important, because the way the internet is evolving, that's the only. I mean, there are other things that work into search also, but keywords are just front and center. Something you definitely need to be looking at if you are trying to either be found or find anything on the internet. So let's take a look at this recipe here. The way it was set up: if Craigslist Indianapolis, has in its title motivated seller on anything that it posts, and Craigslist posts a lot of stuff, you know that. If it has those two words in the title, then I want an email. Now, this was created on May 20th. So that was the first time that we went through this application. And I may have hit it from time to time coming through, but here we are in September. Okay. So you've got May to June, June to July, July to August, August to September. So you got 4 months. And remember, all I did was make a recipe. I didn't have to pay. I didn't have to, this is a free app. Didn't have to do a thing. And all I did was turn it on and let it run. So what can you do? Well, in this inbox, and again, I do have an occasional notification from If This and That, but I want you to look down and look through here and see all of these listings. Now, are they all unique? Maybe not. It's possible. But then again, okay, I see one that is repeating quite a bit. Okay. But there are others that don't. There are quite a few others that don't. Now, what would it take you to go out and, first of all, try to hire somebody to comb through Craigslist just looking at these two words? Okay. And the thing you have to remember is, that's just these two words, right here: motivated seller. That's all that is. Boom. You've got all of these leads coming in. Now, it could become overwhelming. I mean, and again, it just kind of depends on you as far as if you wanted to call all these, look at all of them or anything, or would it be a good source to outsource to somebody else? Maybe you've got a VA that makes calls for you and can pre-qualify and pre-screen some of these people to find you the real deals. Maybe you're, working in partnership with other investors, and this is a way that you can provide leads that all of you can try to track down and follow. The possibilities are endless. But the one thing that I wanted to show you is, like I said, 144 take off, let's say, let's just say 10 junk emails in there. That's 134 email notifications that I got. Even if half of those were duplicates, you're still looking at what? You should never do math live, but what? 134, that's 65, 66, 67 or so leads that you have just off of this one keyword. Now, what happens if you change this and go to something different? So let's try this. Let's go in. Let's create a recipe, because I created a different one, but let's see if we can have it start to give us some information. So here's Craigslist from where we were before. Now go to new post from search, and we want to search for something on Craigslist, the URL. Let's see. I think before I had to go and just put in uh, go here. Could have pulled it from there, but okay. So let's go and let's pull this back. So all we're doing is copying and pasting the URL back in, and we've created the trigger. What'd I do? Let's try this then. Okay. Real estate for sale. Oh, yeah. Okay. Didn't go deep enough. Did not go deep enough because, all right, right here, we're going to put job loss. See what happens. Not too much. Okay. Job transfer. No, not good. See, this is why I was telling you keywords are key. We tried motivated seller. What about must sell? When it pops up in the thing, here we go. Must sell. Okay. So now we have a new situation. And let's see, did I have to go? Maybe I had to copy it from here. Oops. Maybe not though, because that's not a complete URL. Maybe I'm gonna end up let's try this. There we go. That's how you did it. You went back after you set up your page in Craigslist of what you're looking to find, your keywords up in this area, copy the URL from the top, go back. Now here's our if. Then what do we want? Then we want it to go to Gmail. Go back in. We want the email. We want it to be oops. There we go. It helps if you spell correctly, even speak correctly from time to time. Okay. Create the action. Bingo. And it is done. Boom. Created. Now, one thing it would be interesting to see, and I'm not sure, but let's do this. Let's resync. Yeah, we're not back up on the front page yet. Okay. Let's let's do this. Here we go. Okay. Here's our September 15th. Now, I'm not sure how long it takes for this recipe to come through, but it should come through. Oh, no, you know what? I don't know. Go back into this one. Yeah. Same way. So I believe we are set up correctly. It may just take a minute for it to come through, populate, and hit the right spots because, yeah, we're on the right URL. Okay. Again, like I said, I'm not sure how long it takes to update, but that's all there is to it. And now we've created that. Think about everything that you could do with this tool in your business. Just kind of blows you away when you start to think about it. But this is what we have tonight for Tech Talk. If you do have any questions, if you're wondering about anything that we've talked about tonight, you can hit me up at webinartc, WEBINARTC @gmail.com, and I'd be more than happy to answer your questions. But until then, happy investing, and we'll talk to you next time on Tech Talk. Take care and God bless.